What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back with another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. Hi, y'all. Hello, hey, y'all. Yeah, hi. It's another week, another day, another dollar. Countdown to the holiday break. I am tired. Hey, I'm ready to pack it up. I'm ready to pack it up. I know last week I mentioned that I'm probably going to be taking a break. I'm definitely taking a break. I don't know when, but I'm likely going to do the 200th episode. Ding, 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 ding. I'll either do it and have it drop the Christmas week or for the new year. I'm still debating. Either way, I ain't gonna try to gas it up like it's gonna be like something crazy, but I'm just letting y'all know that that is a huge feat. I don't know. Hey, never would have made it. I don't know how I made it. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I pulled it off. But I did. And whenever I record it, that's when I'm gonna record it. So I'll keep y'all posted on if I'm gonna be off or not. Matter of fact, if I'm gonna be off next week, I need to tell y'all today. So see me, y'all. If you see an episode drop next week, I did it. If you don't, I am on holiday break and will be back in the new year. Okay. Charge it to my head and not my heart. Love you so much. I just haven't figured it out. But I will say, as far as what is to talk about this week, is another one of those times where it feels like a bunch of stuff is happening, but not sure or not necessarily adjacent or connected to Black news. There are a lot of things that Black people are talking about, but sometimes it kind of blurs the lines because we talk about, y'all know, we talk about everything. It ain't got didn't necessarily do with news content, updates, pop culture events about by us, for us, by us. Fubu, shout out to them. Sometimes it is just things happening in the world because we are very multifaceted. Okay, so it's a lot going on, but I specifically, and I'm apologizing in advance. Y'all know my industry is my passion and career is in film and television, in the performing arts. I am a member of SAG-AFTRA. Okay, I am in. Listen, so I am sorry now, leading into this next couple weeks or months, if this turns into a Sinners Support podcast. I am so sorry up front. I have to tell you, y'all know when I'm passionate about something, y'all know I be in. Okay. I'm a locked in. I'm gonna do what I can to support. And I can already see that shaping up for Sinners during the award season because the bull is already shitting. Okay. I can already see I see the play. Okay. I see the plays. So I've probably said this many of time. I probably even talked about this last week. And I mentioned it at some point in the past few weeks because the nominations are coming out for different awards. Golden Globe announcements came out and things are starting to roll in. Short lists, people dropping their lists. You got the small honoree ceremonies popping up. Boston critics, DC critics, Seattle critics, Utah, you name it. Everybody is announcing their list, and Sinners, for the most part, has been a part of a lot of those conversations. But what we usually see in this industry, as far as film and TV, when it comes to the big awards, for many reasons, a lot of times films created by, starring, including, discussing, and about Black people often get snubbed, actors included. Now, I can go into many reasons why that is, but I'll use Sinners as the catalyst to discuss all of those things because this is happening in real time. So I think Sinners is hands down the best movie of 2025. I think it is one of the best movies of the past 10 years. And for my personal favorite, Sinners is at in that top group for me for many different reasons. Let me start though, and apologize if I said any of this before. If so, just zoom past and keep going until I get to the next part of this. One of the main reasons, especially when you think about what the best movies are, it's not about just was the acting good and was it shot well. There's a lot of things that play into this, especially when you talk about the business of film. The business, because at the end of the day, this is a business. And if it were only about who had the best shot movie and who acted the best, all of the best films of years past would not be the case. It would be other things for many other reasons. But the top thing, especially considering our industry has taken such a big hit. We've had all of the strikes. We've had COVID shut down. You have studios closing, merging, joining, and cutting back, if you will. The money ain't money no more. People not getting residuals. You don't even know how many people watched your show if it's on streaming. Once it's on streaming, they can decide they don't want to continue with it. And all of a sudden, the thing you worked on for 2, 3, 4, 5 years is no longer available. You don't even have a hard copy. There's so much happening. But as it relates to film, one of the big conversation is people not going to movie theaters no more. We have literally seen people in movie theater owners, AMC, Regal, Ute Cinemark, all talking about how they want people to get back into the theater. People don't show up. Ain't as many movies as it was back in the day. It was all these big superhero films, so and so and so and so. One of the reasons why Sinners is the best movie of 2025 is because it single handedly kept the lights on this summer for a consistent 2, 3, 4 month span of time. Low key is given black exploitation era because one thing about the black exploitation era, it has been documented and known that if it weren't for black exploitation movies, Hollywood would have went under. Those movies were single-handedly keeping the lights on in Hollywood because there were so many. They were affordable to shoot, and black people was gonna show up based on the run Sinners had. Child, it was such a high demand. They had to put it back in IMAX multiple times because people kept buying up all the tickets and demanding more viewings and more showings. It literally generated hundreds of millions of dollars in the global box office. It continued and restarted the conversation that people in the business have been complaining about how there is no original content. We tired of remakes. We tired of reboots. We tired of superhero stories. We tired of all of it. Where's the original content? It gave you what you wanted. It put butts back in the seats. It generated traffic to movie theaters. It gave creators an opportunity in every area, in different areas of the United States to work because it's shot in Louisiana. It boosted the the eyes on IMAX, and the Warner Brothers made money. So for anyone to say that Sinners ain't one of the best movies of the year, I'm immediately thinking, okay, what else? You must be talking about something else because the numbers alone puts it at the top. But another reason why, because you actually learned something. Now, I'm not saying every movie has to be an educational experience because sometimes you want to have a good time. Sometimes the content of the movie and the script and the dialogue isn't about that. Sometimes it's a love story, sometimes it's action, sometimes it's a drama, thriller, whatever. But how many times do you go into a movie and actually learn something that you did not know? To the point where you come home and you start to research so you can really find out if that was true or not, what the case was, whatever. Because I'm willing to bet cold hard cash that a large majority of the American population, especially who watch Sinners or who refusing, because there's people out here refusing to watch it. They be doing that. We're gonna get into that maybe. Did not know that there were Chinese immigrants in the Mississippi Delta. They did not know the history of the blues. They ain't know nothing about no hoodoo. They didn't know nothing about no Great Migration. They didn't know about juke joints. They didn't know about any of that. I'm willing to bet cold car cash. They didn't know that people were getting paid in plantation money. They didn't know about credit sharecropping. You did not know it. I know you didn't. They didn't know about the Choctaw Indians in the Mississippi Delta. I bet cold hard cash you didn't know. Not talking to you, the Black News listeners, because we be in the know. We know what we're talking about. So for that reason, it needs to be at the top of the list. The acting. Baby, listen. The acting, Delroy, they be trying to snub my dog Delroy, which reminds me, y'all, I got invited to a center screening this week that is has a Q&A with Denzel Washington and Delroy Lindo. Let me tell you something today. Y'all, I I'm getting there early. Ain't no guarantee you be getting in. The screeners be packed. They be overbooking. I'm getting there early. My homeboy invited me and he was like, "You want to go to the center screening?" I was like, I work late. I be getting off work late. I work long hours. I can't. He was like, "Oh, it's hosted by Denzel Washington." I said, "Oh, I'll make it work." Then I said, "Who else gonna be on the panel? Is it the panel? Is it Q&A? Well, who's it?" He said, "With Delroy Lindo." I said, "Child, I'm in the building. What you talking? Child, what you talking? I'm in the building with. Listen, I got to be in the building. West Indian Archie and Brother Malcolm." Babe, this 1992. Give me the nation outfit. I am there. I can't wait. I've been trying to get in these center screenings. Yes, the screenings you have to watch the movie and then the Q&A is after. But when I tell you, because when you're a part of a union or a guild, especially during the war season, you start to get emails and notifications to that they're screening the movie, Q&As, all of these things. The center been pulling out the big guns and the big dogs because people trying to play them and they low key trying to snub them from the conversation. Christopher Nolan did a screening with a Q&A with Ryan Coogler. There was one that I tried to get on. I was on the wait list. They ain't let me off the wait list with Viola Davis, Michael B. Jordan, and Wumi Masaku, and Francine Meisner, who is the casting director, didn't get in. I've been trying, child, and he hit me up and said it's gonna be Brother Denzel, Mr. Washington down there in the Delroy Lindo down to the screening. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. This Black history. Okay, they gonna be fussing. Y'all know Denzel be fussing now. He in his 70s. He mad about everything. Somebody getting fussed out. Somebody gonna ask a question from the audience, and him or Delroy gonna be mad. I can't wait. But I say that because Delroy, one of the points that I'm making about this being one of the best movies, Delroy Lindo delivered a performance that is undeniable. Wumi Masaku did the same. Child, Michael B. Hey man, Michael B. said, "I got something to say." And let me just real quick add another sidebar to this. I need people to stop acting like Michael B. Jordan ain't been in his business since he was like 12 years old. Like I need people to knock it off. Whether people vibe with his acting or like his roles or his movies or not, the fact remains it is very difficult to withstand in this business starting off as a child actor. It's only a few that has been able to make it work. We see the horror stories all the time. He one of the only few that actually continued on from after leaving The Wire, or had a uber successful career. As far as child actors, but listen, we only who the only people making it? Michael B. Jordan, Keke Palmer, Journey Smollett. Who else? Keenan Thompson. Baby, that's all I got. Who else? So Michael B. Jordan and this making it this long and improving and now being on the short list for these nominations. Shout out to that brother. Okay. But those are just some of the quick reasons why Sinners is the best movie. I can continue on. Cinematography. I talked about the acting, the casting, the production design, the editing, the music. Y'all, Ludwig did his thing with that score. He didn't have no business, which is another thing. Y'all, I saw somebody on social media, and it had to be Rage Babe, say, I don't know. It was just something about the score that seemed very unseasoned to me. I think if a black person would have done it, it would have sounded better. Now, y'all know I'm all about our people, but I don't think anybody can say that Ludwig Göransson is not able and capable to score a movie that has black people, because I ain't hear nobody saying about the Black Panther score, because that was one of the best movie scores that we've ever seen and we've ever heard. Same with Sinners. But also, I just rejected that conversation because they literally reached out and collaborated with veteran and new, notable, uber famous blues musicians from throughout the South, including the legendary Bobby Rush. So I'm not, and Buddy Guy. I'm not playing these little games with people. Brittany Howard literally wrote Pale Pale Moon. Raphael Sadiq wrote I Lied to You. So, God, enough. But that takes me to the overall point of this, which I'll get into. While the nominations are coming out, news publications, entertainment publications are also releasing their best of lists, right? Best movies of 2025, best acting performances of 2025, best all of these. And make no mistake, sometimes people use this to signal to people within voting bodies, as far as the academy and others, to try to sway and persuade their opinions about things. That also, to me, points to, I don't know if y'all have seen it, been on social media, but there was an article that was released that interviewed Ryan Coogler, and one point within the article keeps getting highlighted, and they trying to blast it all over the place, saying that Ryan Coogler turned down membership to the Motion Picture Academy. Personally, I think they're doing that to try to sabotage him, because on the surface, to the viewer, it looks honorable and noble, because he turned it down around 2015, 2016. Y'all, it's 2025. Why you just now bringing this up? This man had box office smashes and been interviewed for the last 10 years, but conveniently now this is news. But he literally said, I did that because I don't do very good at judging things. It just makes me uncomfortable. I don't, have a say or know how to identify who I think is the best. So at the time, I just didn't do it. But people within the industry, because I'm going to remind you, some of these people are bitter and they're jealous and they're petty. So they literally take that and think, oh, he's too good to join the academy. He thinks he's better than us because he thinks he's better because he doesn't want to judge. So again, there are small things that I personally feel like are being used to discredit and to undermine the success of this movie and to influence voters into not picking them and siding with them. But back to the list. So the list, people are very impressionable. And they take this and they're like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, this was a good movie. It's also written by people who have their own biases. We saw the articles this summer when Sinners came out by Variety, where the person, whoever wrote the article, one specific person, literally was being shady about Sinners. Like, yeah, it made $90 million, but is it going to make enough to account for the huge budget and the spend? But other movies, they didn't say nothing like that. They're like, open to a great weekend, yay. But specifically, Rolling Stone, who is also, if I'm not mistaken, one of the news publications in the past that have been doing them best musicians, best hip hop, R&B, whatever artists of the year, and they've been doing crazy shit for a long time. They released their best movies of 2025 list. Sinners ain't even on it. The 20 best movies of 2025, and you telling me that the biggest box office smash of the summer, outside of maybe like what, like a Thunderbolts? I don't even know. I think it even did better than Thunderbolts. The most talked about, the most trending movie of the entire year. The movie where they had to literally put it back into IMAX theaters multiple times due to the demand is not one of the 20 best movies of 2025 over movies that nobody has even had a chance to watch yet. You kidding me? Now I'm going to read the list that they put together, but I want to just say, especially as it relates to awards for movies, because I can only speak from what I know. And we kind of saw this with Ava DuVernay last year or the year before with Origin, which was one of the best, most moving movies I've seen in years. That movie moved me so deeply. So deeply. There's artists who, and I probably said this before, there's artists whose content I trust. I trust their work. I trust their vision. And when I say trust, I'm saying that even to the extent of, even if I don't agree with their work, their statements, their words, their stances in some cases, but these people I'm gonna name, I actually do be agreeing with them. Even if I don't agree with them, I trust their insight and knowledge and creativity and art enough to know that they thought through whatever it is that they put out, said, and created. That even if I don't agree, I trust that they, from their perspective, they did their due diligence and they stand by it and created it from their own genuine perspective. I trust their work. Those people right now, list growing is short for now. I trust Nicole Hannah Jones' work. I trust Ava DuVernay's work. And I trust Ryan Coogler's work. I trust their work. Which, with Ava DuVernay, when Origin was out, she also had that big push and people were trying to host screenings to get Origin in front of enough voters so that it could be considered. I remember Angelina Jolie even hosted a screening and a panel and a Q&A for that movie. Anjanou Ellis was out here hitting the pavement. But because Ava DuVernay did not go through a studio system to fund that movie, she pieced that money together herself. It is rumored and said that the studio system was upset, and people within the industry who have a say, if you will, I'm doing air quotes, they don't like it when you step outside of the system that they want to control as a Black creator. So essentially, people were saying, allegedly, she was being punished. That move, they punished them for doing that. I'm just saying what people said. I'm allegedly. I don't know if that's the case, but jumping back to Sinners with that same point in mind, I feel like people oftentimes, especially with movies, they use opportunities like this to snub and or to punish Black people or to have an opportunity to keep us in our place. Because at the end of the day, there could be these nuanced reasons why people don't think it's a good movie and all of this stuff. And it didn't have a plot, I didn't understand it, the music, all this other stuff. But at the baseline, sometimes shit just ain't that deep at all. Sometimes it's as simple as, I don't want Black people to be honored at this level, period. I don't want a Black person having their movie be the best movie. Period. I don't want a Black man that made a movie with the majority Black cast to have the best picture honor. Period. And sometimes people's only opportunity in their life to put Black people in their place can be as simple as not voting for your movie. It can be as simple as that. Now, is that the case? I don't know. Could that be the case? Yeah. hmm Will time tell once we get deeper into this? Sure will. And when they be these articles and these publications be dropping them secret interviews with these people when they say stuff like that. Remember they said Viola Davis got too many awards or something, or I'm tired of seeing her. Remember they said, like, again, hey, people saying it out loud. They saying it. And also people not required to watch these movies. You're not man, it's not mandatory. You can just literally open up your ballot and vote without having to watch anything. Some people ain't watching. I'm not gonna give y'all the Beast of No Nation story from the year that I keep giving y'all about my coworker didn't watch it. I can't. Hey. But let me read this list and then we'll wrap this topic up. Per them, these are the 20 best movies of 2025. And I'm going to read what they said before we get into that. It said 2025 was a year that posed a lot of questions for movie lovers. Did the success of Sinners prove that there was still a mass audience hungry for original, read non-IP stories on the blockbuster level? Does Ryan Coogler's historic deal to have the film rights revert back to him 25 years change how Hollywood deals with creative talent? How would James Gunn reboot of Superman transform the fate of fortunes of the DC cinematic universe? What was the ideal format to see one battle after another? Which would be the bigger existential threat to the medium? The continuing atrophy of the traditional theatrical experience or the introduction of the first AI star? Would Hamnet make you cry 2 gallons of tears or three? Was Brad Pitt really driving those Formula One cars in F1? What the hell exactly is a K-pop demon hunter? It was also a truly great a great year for great movies, period. We had to kill a number of darlings to get the following best of 2025 down to 20 films. And between the various film festival premieres, brief Oscar qualifying runs, and streaming only standouts, and a number of left field surprises, we could have easily doubled the list. A number of name brand auteurs reminded us of why they've earned the title. Several newcomers released the sort of knockout debut features that made the future of film seem brighter. We got not one but two backstories behind the making of not one but two very different masterpieces set centuries apart. For every major disappointment, there were 2 or 3 big swings that connected in ways that inspired audiences, instigated conversation, and instill hope in a way that the world outside the theater did not. These 20 titles aren't just the highlights of the last 12 months. They're the ones will likely be going back to year after year. From epic tale of resistance to personal reimagining of a gothic horror classic. Welcome to the best movies of 2025. I just want to highlight how Sinners was mentioned in the intro. You see you see? Okay, let's get into it. Number 20, Weapons. 19, Frankenstein. 18, Caught by the Tides. 17, The Phoenician Scheme. That was 17. Sorry, I don't know if I said 18 or not. 16, on Becoming a Guinea Fowl. 15, Orwell, 2 plus 2 equals 5. 14, Best Wishes to All. 13, Universal Language. 12, Eddington. 11, Peter Hujar's Day. 10, Sentimental Value. 9, Marty Supreme. 8, Sorry Baby. 7, No Other Choice. 6, It Was Just an Accident. 5, Nouvelle Vague. 4, Train Dreams. 3, Black Bag. 2, Hamnet. 1, One Battle After Another. You lost your motherfucking mind. Listen, and I know things like this should not anger me. It should not anger you. It should not anger us. But one thing don't play in our face. Do not play in people's face. Because I will say this, even if Sinners was not your favorite movie of 2025, it is literally undeniable that it is on the best movies list of 2025. It was literally mentioned in the introduction, which tells me they trolling. A lot of times people also be trolling and they want to get conversation started. They want they want to drive clicks to their article. Because if Sinners was listed, people that just saw it and be like, oh, cool, oh, cool. But now you getting dragged. And for that movie that is still talked about, is literally back in IMAX right now or just got out again, to not make the list, Don't play now. So y'all, I just can't. I just can't. What do y'all think though? Because y'all not gonna talk about this forever. And again, if this has to turn into ongoing thing, tracking centers, where do we stand today? I'm willing to do it because if it's nothing that I've learned about being in this business since I would say the back end of 2008, because that's when I was sneaking going to acting classes, had me a set of headshots, and was doing improv when I was still living in New York City on the creep. Okay. I was on the creep when I was still scared to let people know that I was pursuing this. So since having been in this business since 2008, 17 years, every aspect, on camera, behind the scenes, hosting, acting, stand-up comedy, writing, producing, podcasting, news, you named it. Being in this business for this long, when a movie like this comes around and it reinvigorates the industry and audiences. And that's why I keep saying, I'd be like, I think SAG-AFTRA gonna handle business. We got our own award show that comes on. I think we gonna handle business because I'm gonna give you a quick example and I'm gonna get about this topic one more time. I think I probably said this before. When I saw Sinners for like the third time in movie theaters, I saw it in Burbank. Burbank in California is where Warner Brothers is close to. It is where Disney Studios is close to. The AMC in Burbank is one of those theaters, in addition to theaters all around this city, in this county, because the entertainment industry is everywhere. And like I think Ryan Coogler mentioned this in an interview recently that I saw, it is a blue collar industry. You got production designers, lights, you got crafty, you got all sound. These are blue collar. We're a union town. But when I went to see Sinners, you can feel the vibe and look around and see the crowd and kind of spot and see who is in there. You can tell it was crew people in Hollywood was in that theater. And I'm not talking about glamorized Hollywood. I'm talking about working class. And throughout that movie, people was cheering, clapping, standing up. And this is a white crowd. Low key, matter of fact, Kevin Bacon and Keir Sedgwick was in the theater watching with me. I literally looked down to my right and saw Kevin Bacon and Keir Sedgwick in there, to the point where even after the movie, they got on social media and made a post and said, "Go see this movie. We had a fantastic time. It was a great movie." We were literally all in the theater. Child, when it got to the end and Michael B. Jordan was had to pull out the Tommy gun, he pulled out the Tommy Hilfiger on him and was up the Klan. People in that theater was standing up, clapping, whistling. I'm talking about going crazy in that theater. Sat there throughout the credits, clapped, roaring, clapping at the end. Sign look of hope on their faces because people come out here to work on movies like that. That's why we out here. You want to create things. So when it is time to stand up, we gonna listen. Now that means we gonna probably be mad. We gonna be mad and we making ourselves mad. We setting ourselves up. But still, when it's time to advocate for something, we gotta do it. And I'm doing my part. I am doing my part. Okay. I'm gonna do my part and I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to get the word out, even on the small scale. I hope y'all do the same. And even if you don't like the movie that much, then just shut your mouth. We don't need no naysayers right now. Shut your mouth, please. But let me know what you think about it. Yep. Uh, you can find me at Cornelia on social media. So I was gonna do like a deep dive into the situation involving former University of Michigan head football coach Sharon Moore, but I don't even feel like it's necessary. Hey man, hey, if you living foul, if you cheating, if you out here cheating and you get caught cheating, hey, hey man, hey man. So Sharon Moore, I'm only gonna spend 2 minutes on this. just so y'all can look into it yourselves. And also, people have been on social media, YouTube, doing full on recaps about this. Go watch, because people pulling up the receipts, they doing backstory, they all in. I ain't, hey man, I don't care that much. I'm just bringing it up because this brother been, hey, allegedly, I don't know. This man is, I think he out on bail, on bond or whatever. But Sharon Moore was the former, he was the University of Michigan's football coach. I believe he was like the first black head coach of U of M. He had a contract, I believe, making about $5 million a year. Married with kids, small children. Allegedly, he was having an affair with executive assistant. They done pulled up the girl's salary. She done got bumped up from 50 some $1,000 a year to 90 some $1,000 a year. And ain't no EAs making no bump like that. You ain't no EA getting no bump like that unless you go from supporting a small director or a VP to the CEO. And even with that, it's a stretch. Ain't no EA getting that big of a bump. A 40% bump. Come on. Not even 40%. So what am I talking about? What, she got an 80% bump? Like, it's crazy. But hey, good. Hey, girl, get your money. She was all. It was also what I read is that it was discovered or found out allegedly. This could, correct me if I'm wrong. He had a plan B, door dashed to the office. He got snitched on. He got fired. Went to the girl house and threatened to unalive himself, and he said she ruined his life. He charged with stalking. He got some stalking charges and home invasion. Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Now, I'm not going to go all into this. I'm going to just speak from this perspective. Some people find love at the office all the time, right? I got a homegirl. She met her husband. He was the IT guy. She was working there and he was IT, and he came, they was fixing the computer and stuff. They met, built a friendship, then started dating, and then now they're married, happily married. It happens to a lot of people. Never happened to me because I ain't never worked with no cute men. Okay. I haven't been blessed to be a part of the fine dude at work ministry. I'm sorry. No shit. I'll take it back. I'm sorry. I can't say that. I'm sorry. I can't say that. I can't say that. I just have never been put in that position where I have been uh faced with wanting to date anybody at work. That's just never happened for me. But it does happen. But based on situations like this and how things can go left, you got to check the work policy. You got to check the employee handbook. Look at the handbook. Is it noted in the handbook that you can or cannot date people at work? You have to disclose it. Y'all, what's the rules? Because in this economy, I do not recommend risking your job and your income for somebody over down to the office. Maybe that's the love of your life. If so, maybe. But y'all, I don't recommend that. I don't. I don't recommend it. I be having like younger girls that I be mentoring. They some mentees. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm the mentor, the mentees. And they be like talking about how to be flirting at work. Girl, don't do it. Little sis, don't do it. Yeah, if it gets to the point you really feel like it's gonna turn into something, proceed with caution, because what we not gonna do is be losing our livelihood for no office fling. Now, with that said, brother Sharon Moore done lost his job because he was a contract violation. He not getting paid out, so he probably broke, allegedly, and he facing charges. Y'all, for what? Y'all pull it together. Y'all, we got to come together as a people. And I'm not talking about Sharon. I'm talking about us. Okay. But I just want to highlight that because everybody was talking about it. So I'm gonna bring it up. But again, I don't really care that much to keep going. So what do y'all think about it? Okay. Do y'all think Sharon gonna beat the charges? Do y'all think he's cooked? And do you think he will ever coach again? Personally, no, he gonna be down to the high school and he gonna be at Pontiac High. Okay, he ain't gonna be no. Don't bring that down to Flint. He in Ann Arbor, Washington County. Hey, don't bring that down to Flint. Saginaw don't want to hear it. Okay, Grand Rapids is closed. Hey, nobody having that. Don't bring that down to Genesee County and the surrounding areas. The Saginaw Valley Conference is closed. What y'all think? Okay. Hit me up. Let me know your thoughts about it. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. On this week's episode of Black News, we talked about the year-end wrap-ups regarding best of lists, specifically as it relates to movies, how Sinners is slightly being overlooked by some publications, and what I think that actually means. We also quickly talked about Sharon Moore being let go as the head football coach from the University of Michigan and the shenanigans that are surrounding that. Hit me up. Let me know your thoughts about all of these topics, some or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again for supporting the podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing, and rating 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. To find more information about me, you can check me out at Cornelia on social media, as well as on my website, which is cornelia.com. And as always, thanks for supporting, and I'll be back next week with new topics and a new episode.